PS4 European Siege League. Done. Yeah, no worries, Connor. Welcome, one and all, to today's stream. For those of you that are in so far, can't quite see how many we got in, but feel free to drop something in the chat. Welcome all today. Today's match will see us watching Counteract, who are currently on the blue team, face off against Zodiac B, being on the orange team. Has my stream info updated? Because currently it's saying no, it hasn't. Bear with me 1 second. Week 5, Game 4, PS4 European Siege League. There we go. I will actually update this time. There we go, it's all updated properly. Hello everybody, how are we all today? Hey there Dark, how you doing? How you doing, buddy? Now, just need to sort a few things out before we get this game on the road. But first and foremost, how is everybody today? How's everybody's end of the week been so far? Everybody enjoyed their Friday? Glad it's heading into the weekend? I know for quite a few of you guys, if you are at school, college, whatever, then it is half term, unless I'm very much mistaken. So, you guys are probably enjoying the time off, so today and tomorrow being the weekend doesn't really seem much different to you guys, but I certainly know for me, I'm very much looking forward to it. Thank you, by the way, Joshua, for the follow. Greatly appreciate it, man. Cheers for tuning in today. Come to watch your team, well, the B team anyway, see how they perform. Give them some pointers, I'm guessing. Of course, for those of you that tuned into yesterday's stream, you will recognise these two lineups. Hey everybody, hey Maz, hey Joshua. No worries, man, no worries. And hey Zombie Slayer, how you doing? So yes, today's game is Counteract versus Zodiac B, a lineup and a matchup that we saw yesterday, in fact. However, yesterday's game was part of the Galactic League, and today's game is part of the PS4. Oh damn! Oh damn! Oh damn! Thank you. Oh my god! Cheers, cheers, Stark. You don't. It's the fact that you only get to spend that Prime sub on one person per month, and you just spent it on me. Cheers, man. I greatly appreciate it. Wow. Like, I wasn't expecting people to be subbing that quickly, but thank you. Thank you for being the first one, Dark. You'll always be there as the first. That's sort of your claim to fame right there. Oh, dear me. Sweet, yeah, so we're just waiting for a couple more members of Zodiac B to join in, but as I was saying before, so rudely interrupted there by Dark dropping me a Prime sub. Thank you very much, my dude. I was saying that Counteract versus Zodiac B was a matchup that we saw occurring yesterday. That was for the Galactic League. Today's game is for the PS4 European Rainbow Six League. So, it's a slightly different... what's the word I'm looking for? Slightly different league we're seeing being played today, and of course because of that we have slightly different lineups. Certainly on the side of Counteract, yesterday, if you tuned into the stream, you would have noticed that I was playing. Today though, I'm not playing. We've got a slightly different Counteract roster up there for this one. So we'll have to see exactly what the scoreline is. Yesterday, the games went incredibly close, down to the wire on both the maps. We saw Oregon and Clubhouse. Oregon going 7-5 in favour of Counteract, but it didn't look like said and done right until the very end. And also, we saw on the second map, which was Clubhouse, we saw it going 8-6. So we ended up seeing overtime between these two teams, which was incredibly close, but eventually, once again, Counteract managed to clinch out right at the very end. So overall, they got the 2 points, well, whatever the point scoring is there. They won the 2 games in the best of 2 yesterday. So they're certainly on the win streak, but it was not a simple cut and done thing there. And so today's game, we will have to see exactly how this one pans out between these two teams. Knowing that they faced each other yesterday, they sort of know what to expect a little bit, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens when we get into this one. The first map today we will be seeing is Villa, and the second one I believe we're going to will be Clubhouse. By the way, thank you very much KWardy01, thank you very much for following, my dude. Greatly appreciate it. And greatly appreciate all of you for tuning in today. At the moment, we've got 14 to 15 viewers, so thank you everybody for tuning in. But yes, thank you. I'm going to quickly get the prediction underway before we get into this game so you guys can vote on who you think will win. Put some use out of those channel points. Will we see a Counteract win in the first map, or will we see a Zodiac B win in the first map? Make sure to use your channel points wisely, as of course if you do lose you will lose your channel points, but also if you bet big or even bet small, sometimes you can win big as long as you choose the right side. And after yesterday's performance, I'm not actually sure who I would put my money on. They are kind of, I've done the predictions. Yeah, I'm getting them done. Quickly put your money on them and then bugger off. Spoiler, Ash is being banned. Okay, sure. There you go, new captain this time round. Ah, fair enough, yeah. Is that the FA Nova captaining, or is someone else captaining today, Joshua? Yeah, in a bit, Connor. But yes, everybody, make sure you get your channel points put into that prediction. I'd like to see as many of you as possible putting those points to good use. Well, I say good use. We'll, of course, see whether it's good use later on. By the way, thank you very much, JXSmoo, or JXSmoo, whichever one it is, for the follow, my dude. Greatly appreciate it. We should be getting this game underway shortly. I'm just waiting for a ready from both teams. Almost everybody's readied up, but once I have the full ready up and the ready in the chat, we will be heading on into the first game, first round of Counteract versus Zodiac B. Just need the confirmation now. But yeah, for those, used all of my points. Nova as the captain now. He was IGL, but now both. Fair enough, Joshua. Yeah, he certainly did a very good job yesterday, and he is absolutely disgusting with that vector. All my points on that. Also, Joshua, I just realised you voted for Counteract to win. Was that intentional? Do you not trust your own team? Oof. All good to go on both sides, so let's get off into this one. The very first game today, Counteract versus Zodiac B. I'm expecting good things from you, Connor. Yes, indeed, Dark. Everybody always expects good things from Connor. I believe I've got everything the right way around. Certainly looks like it. But if there are any errors, we will do a quick rehost and everything. Hopefully I've managed to sort it before we headed on into this one. But for those of you that have tuned in previously, you will know sometimes I do fuck this up. So apologies if that has happened, but hopefully we'll get it all sorted out. Gives them the incentive. Very true, very true. It's like reverse psychology there from you, Joshua. Let's go Counteract. Yes, indeed. Let's go both of these teams. I want to see a very good matchup coming out between them. I'm expecting good things after yesterday's performance from both of these teams. Of course, being live and in the game myself, I sort of was able to see it from both perspectives. Today, of course, I get to watch it from the spectator cam, but of course yesterday I was right there in the action, getting stuck in, and very much getting stuck in, as I believe I dropped 16 kills. I can't remember. You can go check it out on my channel and also my YouTube when it's uploaded. It's not uploaded yet, but it will be. Anyway, so far the two attacking bans being decided. The first one being the Thatcher ban. Very much a sort of standard ban at the moment coming out from most teams. That one being picked off by the side of Zodiac. The Ash being banned out, though, on the side of Counteract. Gets that very aggressive operator off the board quite early. Could harm a few players, as I know a lot of people rely on that R4C gun. However, there are plenty of other attacking ops that both of these teams use incredibly well, so we'll have to see how much of an effect that has. However, I think the mirror ban is certainly possibly a targeted one against the side of Zodiac B. Yesterday, one of the things that we kept facing up against was an incredibly well played mirror, and also well placed mirror windows on the side of Zodiac. They were certainly setting them in all sorts of places, and almost every push that we did, we came up against one of those. So to get them off the board today, it seems like Counteract have decided, you know what, we're just not dealing with it. And after being shredded by FA Nova using that vector, they've just decided, nah, not today, matey boy. Let's see how, though, Zodiac decide to adapt to this and exactly what they bring instead to try and delay this push from Counteract and see if they can get the defensive side on the board. The final ban, though, coming out is Ella. Probably getting rid of that Ella shotgun. It's certainly quite a deadly thing at the moment, but also just those concussion mines. Nobody likes to be concussed because you can't see anything, you can't hear anything, and I certainly despise them myself. Yeah, Nova will play Goyo instead. Yeah, any person that has the Vector, he's just on it. You never know, he might 6th pick, although I believe the 6th pick is now gone, so he won't 6th pick. Can someone else for Zodiac B? I feel lonely. Well, you say it, Babish. If you get enough people voting, then you never know. We see, though, so far, Zodiac B starting on this second floor site. It is statutory and trophy room on the villa map. Of course, not having that mirror, maybe their chosen site would have been the Aviator Games room, but without the mirror being on their side, as it's now been banned by Counteract, maybe they would prefer this site for themselves, as it's slightly less dependent on that mirror being used. A little bit of miscommunication, it seems, coming out. Some players not quite sure exactly what they're going to do. You saw the bandit there, of course, knife in the air towards the Cade. Maybe suggesting, like, oh, can you please Cade this wall for me? And maybe saying, oh, later, while he's trying to tell the rest of the team to finish off the reinforcements. Still looks like quite a few reinforcements left in the pockets on the side of Zodiac. They haven't quite finished putting everything down. As, of course, you see one wall left here, and the Aviator wall is still soft. They have, though, made an extension out into Aviator room itself, holding that study wall there, but nobody seems to be holding it at the moment, so it seems like maybe that's just utility that's been placed over there. No one's actually playing it, as we see all of the members of Zodiac B are on this side, but now, as I say that, we see FA Nova heading over to try and hold this position and playing within the vault. Jones coming in from the side of Counteract, deciding to start on this south side of the map. We see Zofia already inside, opening up the floor from beneath to get those bandits off the wall. Maybe not necessarily required, because that isn't the site, but of course, if the drone work hasn't been done properly, then they might not actually realise exactly where site is. Zofia now has got this top of red stairs position, but do they realise that somebody's vault? It certainly doesn't seem like it. So we see now Connor already pushing into statutory site, managed to get an early pick onto SPRX Gamer. Crucial player in yesterday's game, managed to pick up, I think, at least 20 kills in the second game of Oregon Club. That's Connor, though, getting into another gunfight, this time with a lone wolf, yeah, who's sat all the way over in the astronomy room. FA Nova, though, might be crucial on the flank here, still over towards the vault, and now pushing through into Aviator. Might collect some of the players playing on top of those red. Connor, though, gets another kill onto the head of kills himself. And a third one for Connor. He's currently on for the ace. 3 out of the 5 players have been collected. But do they realise that there are a few players behind? They do realise one's on red stairs, but they maybe don't realise that behind them is the Cade as well. Curly gets his head completely taken off by Ruben there. And as the plant starts to go down, Ruben also finishes off real nincompoop. Little Dark is picked up on the red stairs by FA Nova. Beautiful shots coming out there. It's now a 2v2, and Ruben takes the head off Connor. It's now Zodiac could completely turn this around. Weasley Bins is now left in a 1v2 situation. He does still have the health for it, 75 in fact to his name, but the 2 members of Zodiac B are still very much healthy at this point. He's got to decide exactly what he wants to do as shots come in across from the Cade, but missed, and Weasley picks up the kill onto Ruben D2, sorry, and it's now a 1v1, Weasley versus Nova. Diffuser is in hand, so he can try and stick the plant if need be. But of course, he's trying to work out exactly where Nova is. The calls are coming out on his exact position, so Weasley's trying to... And here comes the swing, and he lands the shots! Weasley managing to clutch out round number 1 for his team. They look like they had it so under control, but the duo push from Ruben and FA Nova nearly stopped them in their tracks right then and there, losing 4 players on the trot to just 2 players on the Zodiac side, leaving Weasty in that 1v2 clutch. But that's one thing you should never do that I've certainly learned the hard way from playing against and with good old Weasty, is that he can sometimes, when you put him in a clutch situation, man just sometimes shows up and comes through and is just... And there we saw it right there, left in a 1v2 situation, not with necessarily health on his side, but playtime cool. He, of course, kept his head, didn't rush anything too aggressively, got the call-outs that he needed, knew where the players were, pre-fires came out, and, of course, a good bit of intelligence and utility. Not intelligence. What's the word I'm looking for? Intel and utility coming out there in the form of the drone still being in master bedroom, calling out the position on that Cade, allowed him to push up into trophy and swing, collecting that final kill. I believe there's been maybe a mic glitch or something. I have been told to pause. So we're just pausing while we wait for Weasty to possibly do a quick restart and then rejoin the server. Once he's back in, though, we will get underway into round number 2. As Counteract looks so dominant to begin with, of course, Connor getting in there, getting a 3k straight off the bat. But then just FA Nova and Ruben on that flank just picked apart Counteract until they left it in a 1v2. I'm still amazed that Weasty was even managed to clutch that. He's very good in the clutch situation, but I maybe wasn't expecting him to do quite that well. Now that Weasty's back in, though, I will wait for him to pick his operator, and then we will get back underway, resuming the timer, as we now head into the 6th pick part of the picking phase. By the way, JKYXR, thank you very much for following, my dude. Of course, if that's supposed to be pronounced like actually a name, like JKXR, I'm not sure. But there you go. Shout out for you, man. Thank you very much for the follow, my dude. Already, guys, we're at 96 followers. It was 3-4 weeks ago, I was at like 7. And that was just my mates who wanted to watch me do an alpha pack opening. So thank you all so much for your support so far. It's so greatly appreciated. And also big shout out to Dark/JR Forward for dropping me a Prime sub for this month. Thank you very much, my dude. Greatly appreciate it, man. And if anybody else fancies doing it, it does cost you a little bit of money, but if you do feel like helping me out a little bit and, of course, making it even more worth my while doing all this casting for you guys in this streaming, then any sort of subscription or donation is greatly appreciated. But don't feel like you have to. Of course, it is paid, so it's your money. You do with it what you will. But of course, if you do feel like helping me out, then it'd be greatly appreciated all the same. There we go. Everybody's happy now as we head into round number 2, as we now see Zodiac B deciding to go back to the same, not the same old, but certainly the expected site of Aviator Games Room. Once again, we see FA Nova running that Cade that proved so crucial in the previous round. Ruben, though, was the one who really picked up for his team and unfortunately was able to get the triple kill just the same as Connor was on the side of Counteract, but unfortunately was not able to fully finish this off, meaning they eventually lost that round. Anyway, a bit of a strange setup here coming out from the Goyo at the top of these main stairs. Of course, 2 shields being in very close proximity to each other means that a well-placed Ash Charge or a grenade could quite easily remove both of these shields in one go. So it's going to be quite interesting to see exactly how this works. Of course, these could be 2 very crucial positions and just completely fire off the top of these stairs in the late round should the push come quite late on the side of Counteract. But of course, they could also very easily be taken out quite early on, as there is no Wamai or Jaeger being played close by. At least I can't see one to eat up any of those nades and stuff. And FA Nova, not sure exactly where he was, managed to pick up Little Dark, who was repelling on the 90 window. Obviously, a drone not coming in, giving him the intel that he needed, but also the Zofia of Connor Wilson playing below, getting one of those Goya shields already through the soft floor. Obviously, the ping came out. Might have been a nade, in fact. I'm not quite sure. Let's have a look. No, in fact, it was one of Connor's impact grenades from that Zofia launcher. I apologise, everybody. Need to put my teeth back in. As we now see, after Counteract have, of course, fallen 1 player down in this early stages, of course, taking things nice and slow, getting the drones in, getting the intel that they need to then decide exactly how they're going to be executing onto this site. Now Connor starts pushing in onto Study, but Ruben with a very, very nice shot manages to pick off the head of Curly, who was pushing up the bottom of main stairs. Connor managed to get rid of that Goya shield, playing at the top of them, though. As now the real Nincompoop starts pushing up the C4, tries to pick him off, but don't quite manage it. Real Nincompoop, though, landing the shot and removing Ruben's head here. A deadly player so far on that Goyo. Now pushing the 90 corridor, Real Nincompoop, of course, manages to also pick up FA Nova. Real Nincompoop, of course, getting rid of 2 of the deadliest players so far from this Zodiac B team, but 1 more being left on the 90 corridor. That was SPRX Gamer. Manages to completely take the bandit. It may have lagged, or his reaction times are a bit slow there, but Connor manages to swing the angle and just completely take him out. Little Dark also going for a restart by the look of it as well. Killzo with the SMG-11 manages to collect the head of Weasty as he pushes in. Connor, thinking that Goyo stood on the plant pot, is still alive, puts a few shots into him, but he's already dead, Connor. You can't quite get another kill that way. But he sees a mute lying on the floor, expecting him to come through the other door. Connor now on a double kill. And a 1v1 versus Lone Wolf, who is playing all the way back in the Hunting Vault. With 40 seconds on the clock, of course, Connor needs to take this slow and decide exactly what he's going to do. The diffuser is down by that vault door, so he needs to decide exactly where he's going to swing. Prefire's coming out there as he does see where the Jaeger was playing. The Jaeger now falling back. He now has been alerted to Connor's presence and knows where he is, so pre-fires and holding angles is coming out, but he's now holding close to this door, waiting for Connor to swing. But Connor will see him before the Jaeger sees him. That was not necessarily the play, as Connor manages to clutch another round for Counteract. Well, he didn't clutch the previous one, but of course he ended up clutching this one, being left in a 1v1. 1v2, in fact, was able to manage to put the pieces together to get that one on the scoreboard for them. Counteract looking good, maybe as they start pushing in, but seem to lose all momentum. But then, for whatever reason, whether it's the important players on the side of, whether it's the important players on the side of Zodiac B get taken out or what, but for whatever reason, they just fall apart a little bit towards that end, and unfortunately, it's allowed Counteract to get these two 1vx clutches in. First coming out from Weasty in the very first round, and the second one coming out from Connor in the second round. First one coming out from Weasty in the first round, second one coming out from Connor in the second round. Goodness me, I can't English this evening. Fortunately, we see there from Kills a swap from Tachanka onto Castle. Of course, Tachanka cannot be played in this league. Same with Aruni, because of course every new operator as they come in with the new seasons of Siege unfortunately are quarantined for one full season before they can be used in competitive play, and those are the rules that we are following so far. Connor Bolo fanboy, yeah, he certainly was at one point. He's in the amethyst skin and he's yep, I agree, Maz. But yeah, so far we see Counteract managing to get ahead 2-0 so far on this first map, certainly showing some good pace. Because, of course, the clutches aren't coming down in the final few seconds. It's not like there's 2 seconds left on the clock and the last remaining member of Counteract has to push in to collect those kills. They've still got time to play with, and I think that's what's giving them the advantage here, being able to slow down, take their time, push in sight, and take those gunfights in 1v1s, and eventually they manage to win out on them. So far, of course, getting 2 1vx's under their belts, which have resulted in their 2-round win so far, currently setting the scoreline at 2-0.
5 seconds left.
Oh, I do mean need a quick sip of water on this one, but now we see... Oh god, I've spilt it all down my front. Now we see, though, Zodiac B going down into this kitchen site, figuring that the top floor was not working out for them, so deciding to switch things up a bit, of course, not sticking to one site, trying to do it again. Sometimes that works out, but I certainly think with how close both of the previous sites have gone, maybe sticking to those sites and trying again would have actually been the play for them here. Of course, if they lost them twice in a row, especially to clutches, then it would be worthwhile swapping out. But certainly to begin with, it would make more sense for them to stick on the sites that they tried, and come so very close to winning. And it was only in the clutches right at the very end that they unfortunately managed to lose it. Real Nincompoop, being on the Twitch here, currently takes his Twitch zone through sight, making a nuisance of himself. I think he still has one in pocket. Yes, indeed he does. But Connor gets taken out nice and early. A cool coming that someone to push into Laundry, and a nice little quick peek and a pre-fire from Kills manages to take Connor completely off the board here. Of course, proving critical to Counteract's push and wins so far. Currently being sat on 6 kills after only 2 rounds. Man is popping today. There's a quick look at the scoreboard for you. Everybody sort of sharing the kills around, apart from so far Curly and Little Dark unable to find themselves a kill, and also Lone Wolf, unfortunately not able to find himself one at this time. Seems to be a bit of a push coming out here at the pantry at the moment, as Real Nincompoop has pushed all the way up to the top and manages to pick up FA Nova, who was playing in the kitchen. A second kill going to Real Nincompoop. Good use of the F2 here to get those shots onto SPRX Gamer. He now starts pushing on his site, now with the advantage in favour of Counteract. 4 members to 3. Sees a bit of utility in sight, so Real Nincompoop takes it out. But now, of course, we see Curly flanking up these back stairs, starting to push in sight and linking up with... Oh dear. Oh dear. Curly. Playing at the bottom, as Astronomy says, you see Ruben, who manages to easily pick up that kill onto Curly. Now playing above and deciding to drop into Laundry, trying to get back to site. Real Nincompoop picks up another kill, this time onto Kills, as now the plant is going down in kitchen. Obviously sound cool has not come out. None of the players on Zodiac B, until that diffuser has been fully planted, realise that the diffuser is going down. One of them pushing from the Laundry side. Now Real Nincompoop pushing and getting a quad kill, doesn't quite get the aces. Ruben shuts him down. Ruben scoring a headshot onto Real Nincompoop. Now it's up to the last 2 remaining members of Counteract, Little Dark and Weasty, the 2 brothers playing it out together, trying to shut down the remaining member of Zodiac. That is Ruben. Left in a 1v2 situation with 20 seconds on the clock. Can he pick up the 2 kills onto these last remaining members of Counteract and get the fuse done? As those words come out my mouth, though, unfortunately he's taken out by Weasty, who sees him push up and swings the angle from the bomb. Securing round number 3 for Counteract. Well played to both teams. Good push on it there into sight, very much spearheaded by Real Nincompoop, who picked himself up a quad kill in that round alone. Certainly helping propel his team forward towards that victory. And so far, with them being safely sat at 3 rounds to none on the attacking side, they certainly seem to have this game very much in their control so far. There's still many rounds to be played, because even if we see a full perfect sweep coming out from the side of Counteract, we are still due 4 rounds at least of Siege before we get to that point. So we're yet to see exactly who will come out on top. For those who haven't voted yet, you have like 10 seconds left on the prediction, so quickly try and get them in. If not, hopefully all of you are happy with your choices. So far, 88% of that prediction going towards Counteract getting the win. And so far, they are certainly proving that prediction well and truly right, with these 3 rounds on the board and 2 very much 1vx clutches coming out. So well done to the side of Counteract so far. Zodiac B, though, putting up very good performances in their own right. Maybe not all of their players are firing on all their cylinders just yet, but so far some of them, certainly Ruben himself, has proven quite critical in their defence. Unfortunately, not quite being able to, of course, clutch it out right at the very end there, meaning that we do see, of course, Counteract being slightly ahead. But I don't necessarily see anything going particularly bad for Zodiac B. There's been a few misplays here and there, like we saw the Mute holding the C4, watching towards that vault door when Connor had actually rotated all the way round on the 90 angle and was pushing the games door. Unfortunately, that meant that the Mute kill was quite an easy one. But I think most of the time it's just bits of intel. The members of Zodiac B are just being caught out, but also members of Counteract are being caught out at the same time. Of course, we saw Ruben managing to capitalise on the fact that nobody was droning Curly onto the bottom of the astronomy stairs there when he pushed up from the basement, which unfortunately meant he was very easily taken out from that flank. So we'll see exactly what is going on here, as Connor just goes absolutely mad and just rushes straight into this bathroom here, already taking all the way up to bathroom, having droned it out first with his Iana gadget, also having the drones of his teammates with him. Does a little bit of damage onto SBRX Gamer, playing the Jaeger all the way in astronomy, but he managed to go away with most of his life still intact, of course 75 health. He hears the Iana gadget coming out, pre-fires it, shoots it out, which means that Connor now has to push in as himself. He is being droned though, and a nade gets cooked and thrown, but SPRX Gaming is playing so close that he's taken. But a nice swing there from Collar takes him off the board. Of course, realising that he'd have to go for the reload after missing most of those shots onto the drones. The wall is now starting to be opened here by the likes of Weasty, who is playing the ace, opening up crouch holes. But FA Nova and Ruben doing work for the team once again, both collecting a kill apiece, putting the numbers game very much back in favour of Zodiac B in a 4-3. Low Dark currently sat outside this wolf window. Meanwhile, Curly is playing on the upside down rappel on this astronomy window. Weasley Bins currently droning from the safety of outside the master bedroom. They maybe want to link up here and start pushing together to, of course, not get into those 1v1 gunfights that they may lose, and then, of course, result in them losing even more bodies without getting any refrags and picks as they push on into sight. With 1 minute on the clock, though, Counteract still had plenty of time to make something happen here, as we see Little Dark, of course, pushing in, jumping into that wolf window, taking out FA Nova, was playing all the way back, but instantly gets refragged by Kills, who was playing at the far end of Trophy, didn't quite realise where he was. Now we're left in a 2v3 situation. Mate, this is where pushing together as a team would have really helped the side of Counteract. They've got the numbers disadvantage. Of course, if somebody was there to watch Little Dark, then maybe they could have got a refrag there and maybe even picked up another kill consequently and put the numbers very much back in their favour. But unfortunately, with Little Dark trading there, of course, getting 1 kill for his own life, unfortunately, it does result in them still being in a deficit, with this time 30 seconds on the clock as we see Curly pushing up the astronomy stairs here, as Weasty now jumps into the closet and is moving to link up with him. Of course, with a lot of walls open here, need to know exactly where to push as shots come out from the statutory position by Ruben, not quite managing to connect either from Ruben or Weasty, but now the last 10 seconds we see execute. Curly getting a beautiful headshot there onto a lone wolf, as now Weasty is pushed in to start the plan, and a double kill coming out for Curly. Is now a 2v1 situation. Can he land shots? He misses a shot on Ruben. The diffuser is now down, and Ruben gets the triple kill and manages to go and secure the diffuser. Ruben today is popping off, ladies and gentlemen. A nice little 3k there, 4k even, I believe, possibly coming out from Ruben there. putting himself all the way up onto 9 kills after only 4 rounds. Connor and Real Nincompoop, of course, are trying to keep pace there with their 6 and 7 kills apiece. However, Ruben is certainly being the MVP for his team so far, almost getting the round clutches and the round wins for his team previously. Unfortunately, not quite managing previously, but now he is coming into his element and manages to get a round for Zodiac on the board. That is exactly what they needed. They didn't want to finish this first half getting 6-0'd flawless, and now that definitely won't happen, as they have 1 round on the board at least, and they know they can bring some fire to Counteract here. Whether they can continue this with, of course, the other members of Zodiac B maybe not being as fully fueled up and ready to go as Ruben is right now, not firing on all cylinders, might mean that Counteract still have the edge. However, that is certainly a very good sign on the side of Zodiac B, and certainly gives me hope, just from watching this as a caster, that we're going to see some very good siege still coming out from these teams. Whether it's the remainder of this map or whether it's going into the next one, either way, with that clutch coming through, Ruben having the game of his life so far, certainly looking positive for Zodiac to start pulling this one back and maybe even see some more overtime like we did in yesterday's game where we saw Counteract versus Zodiac B. Today though, so far, as we head into round 5, Zodiac B have moved back to the Aviator Games room. This time playing a slightly different setup at the top of the main stairs. They have opened up the rotate. This one looking like it's going to be for the Smoke, who's going to play a shield somewhere around the top of the main stairs here. He hasn't set it up yet. That certainly seems like the likely position for him to be playing. We do see a Ruben, though, on the Vigil, currently roaming below in the piano room. Maybe trying to capitalise on his pinpoint accuracy today and his absolutely just mental attitude he's got so far to hopefully try and capitalise on a few more kills and hopefully opening ones with him playing this aggressive roam position with the Vigil. Drones coming out there from the side of Counteract from the main door as all of them start positioning over here, deciding exactly how they're going to push. The call has probably come, the Vigil is right at the end in the arts room, pottery room, whatever you want to call it. A little gunfight going here between Connor and Ruben. Ruben does lose a bit of health but decides to completely bug out and rotates all the way down to bottom of red stairs and goes into the basement. Of course, since he's rotated so far away, maybe the side of Counteract expected him to go upstairs, and with him being Vigil, they might not have that intel to confirm that he has gone downstairs until it's too late and he's on the flank and he's killed them all. But for now, he's bugged out and he's all the way over in Pantry, while we see the rest of Counteract, 2 of them pushing up these main stairs, trying to get rid of this smoke on his shield. As a nade comes out, manages to destroy it. And now some further flashes are being set out and a smoke is wasted as he falls back into the dining position. If a reinforcement is still left on the board, the smoke could reinforce that wall there if he wanted to. He certainly had the time to do it, especially after laying that smoke charge, but he decides not to, leaving that rotate and a hole in the wall nicely open for the side of Counteract to start pushing in. 3 members now in study, as we see Real Nincompoop still outside. Curly, Connor and Weasty are now inside as Little Dark finally picks himself up a kill from that 90 window. But Connor not getting the intel that he needs, tries to throw a deep in sight, but the Lone Wolf playing on the Cade was actually further up. But Weasty pushes super aggressive and manages to get the down on the Cade, finishes him off with the pistol, and now moves to the plant behind the vault door. Curly's covering him, currently watching the vault cross. Smoke canister coming out and not quite managing to smoke out. Weasty sat in the corner, still currently in safety. A nice little flick there from Curly gets FA Nova, who's trying to flank at the top of the red stairs. And now with a plant down, Counteract have the 4v1 situation. Kills being left in this undesirable odds and eventually gets pistoled down by a Real Nincompoop, who's in sight on the dining bar. A nice little defense coming out there from Zodiac B, but eventually just the kills started coming too thick and fast for them to stop the hemorrhaging. And unfortunately for them, Counteract were able to get in there. Of course, Weasty pushing in aggressively at the right time to refrag Connor after he'd been taken out by that aggressive Cade. Cade was, of course, stuck mid-reload while Weasty swung the corner, so didn't have any answers to the likes of that AK-12, and unfortunately was put out on the floor. And then, of course, that position was further capitalised as we saw Weasty decide, okay, we've actually got this site, boys. Curly, hold me from the study door. I'm going to go in and plant behind that vault door, and that's exactly what he did. Good calls, though, coming out on the side of Zodiac B, it seems like, with some good flanks coming out. However, of course, an incredible flick we saw there coming out from the likes of Curly manages just to completely decapitate the likes of FA Nova, who had swung all the way from 90 onto the top of the red stairs. Unfortunately being taken out when he tried to get that flank. If, of course, he managed to get the kill on Curly Whirly, Weasty was stuck behind that vault door, having been suppressed by that smoke. At that point, then, they maybe could have got a few more kills on the board and been able to take this. But I'm not quite sure where everybody died. I thought Ruben was still alive on the roam. Obviously, I'd missed that, him being taken out there, probably by Little Dark, playing the 90 position on the window here. Once again, though, Zodiac B, sorry, not Counteract B, Zodiac B deciding to go for this Aviator Games Room site. Cage being placed down on both of these walls somewhere near the bottom to try and stop them getting in. But so far, Real Nincompoop playing that role of the Twitch has proven critical and incredibly useful for actually getting rid of this utility. Of course, Twitch isn't the normal way to get stuff off the walls because her drone can sometimes be so easily spotted. But, of course, today it's just working out for Real Nincompoop. He knows where to be putting these drones in, and he's managed to get them sneaking into sight and getting rid of the utility where required. We did see SBRX Gamer getting a little bit tagged there as he ran across in front of the study door. As shots came out, just a pre-fire onto the balcony. Weren't expecting anything there, but did actually manage to do a bit of damage, which is fortunate for the side of Counteract. Impact coming out there, destroying a bit of the barbed wire, but the guy picked up his shield so it wouldn't destroy it as the rotate is put in here from the dining wall onto the top of main. And once again we see the likes of, oh my goodness, Connor's already in sight, but he instantly gets refragged out by the likes of SBRX Gamer, who was playing in the vault. But left on incredibly low health there, on 10 health there. Connor getting maybe a little bit over aggressive. Of course, if he pushed the advantage there, he did have the G8 of IQ in hand and could have just run in and wrecked. But unfortunately for Connor, that's one kill is all he would get onto FA Nova, and then he'd be very quickly taken out. The wall is now being opened by Weasty, as once again Real Nincompoop has done his job and managed to get to the Cades off that wall. A nice good pre-fire coming out there, downing the Cade in the vault, allowing them to take this B site and of course push in and start taking the flank. Curly secures a kill for his team. And now it's a 2v3 with kills and SPRX Gamer, 2v4 sorry, left against his Counteract side. C4 being prepped from below, the call is coming out, but he's not in the same default plant spot. C4 doesn't claim anybody's life, doesn't claim any hit points, and now kills are left in 1v4 with the diffuser planted on the ground. Weasty is now rotated, watching towards these main stairs, waiting for, of course, kills to push up them. They know he's coming from over here, obviously calls coming out, but Real Nincompoop pushes aggressively towards the main stairs and finishes him off. Goodness me, I can't English today. But there we go. As we get to the end of the first half, we see the split's going very much in favour of Counteract. So far, 5 round wins to the one of Zodiac B. Zodiac B putting up some very good rounds early on, unfortunately not quite having it towards the end, and unfortunately as well, not being able to capitalise on the fact they were left in 3v, 2v1s, so unfortunately they go into the second half with a deficit. We'll just have to see whether when they're on the attacking side they can maybe turn this around. They certainly proved very competent and very good at finding the gaps in Counteract's defence in yesterday's game, and were able to push in and just rip shit up basically. So let's see whether they can of course do that today. The main person doing that was SBRX Gamer, so let's see whether he can pick it up in the second half, as currently he's only sat on 2 kills. Hey Lydia, how are you doing today? Sorry you missed a prediction, but maybe that's a good thing for you, so you don't have to waste your channel points on the wrong team here. Although if you joined everybody else on the 92% that are currently thinking Counteract will win this, and they're certainly proving that right so far. There's still many rounds to be played though, so it may swing back in the other direction, but Counteract certainly seem to have the better of Zodiac so far. Yeah, how are you doing, Lydia? Good day, bad day? Also, I'm not sure whether I saw it in the chat when I was casting with Conch and you tuned into both of us. Did you find my channel first, or did you follow Conch before and then you found me, or did you find Conch because of me? Which way round was it? Because if you did answer yesterday, I completely missed it and I apologise for that. I can't remember if you put it in the chat. Anyway, we see the likes of Counteract deciding to go for this top floor hold in the Aviator Games. Not putting a rotate into the top of main stairs. It seems like if they are going to be holding this, they're going to be holding it without a shield and without a rotate, so we're going to see exactly how this works out for them. Mutant Bandit being bought for the wall denial, and Connor on the roam getting the opening frag. Goodness me, and collecting the person who I thought could rip shit up right here, the SPRX Gamer being taken off the board so very early on. Not exactly sure where the man died. Was it a little spawn peek from below? He tried to push in through the garage here and just got taken out by Connor. Was not expecting a roamer on the side of Counteract to be that far off a site in the basement when they're on the top floor on the complete opposite side of the map. But then again, you've got to expect the unexpected when playing against any of these teams in this tournament. And of course Connor managed to capitalise on that, getting the opening frag and walking away with his life still intact. Collecting a Twitch drone there at the top of main stairs, as now we see Ruben swing in, doesn't manage to get the kill, and Connor secures that, getting a double kill for himself so far. Starts pushing up aggressively, trying to contest the... Oh my goodness, managed to land a beautiful headshot onto FA Nova, who was holding tight onto that balcony door, meaning that the diffuser is now down, and it's a 5v2 situation. Kills and Lone Wolf being left in it once again. I believe they were left in some clutches, well, not clutches previously, but they were left in these situations earlier. Hopefully they can capitalise on this one this time. Lone Wolf now pushing up, but Kills also pushing from behind his stats tree. A little split push here could work out well for them, but of course does mean that any refrags will not be able to happen should one of them get taken out. Lone Wolf still playing on top of the balcony, now pushes into study and starts contesting Connor, but Connor manages to get the shot here. Quad kill for Connor. Can he secure the ace? Of course, Kills being the other side of the map and being contested very heavily by Nincompoop. And of course, Nincompoop with that prone angle on 90 manages to land the headshot nicely either through the wall or just onto the player as he pushes up. Indeed, onto the player as he pushes up. Securing round number 6 for the side of Counteract. A dominant performance so far from the Counteract side. I'm good. How are you today? And I found yours first in Contra. I think, oh, awesome. Sweet. How did you find mine then? Was it just you were scrolling through Twitch and you happened to come across some random bloke casting some Siege and then you followed, tuned in, all that jazz, or were you from one of the Discord channels? And I'm doing alright, thank you, today. It's been a long week at work, so I'm very much ready for the weekend, but it's almost over soon, and you know what, I've been really enjoying the casting recently, so I was more than happy to step in when my game got cancelled this evening and cast this game for these two teams. Especially getting to see this rematch from the spectator side, since I played on the Counteract roster yesterday for the Galactic League against Zodiac B. So this is a rematch of sorts. See who is the top dog. Yesterday was two very close games, 7-5 on Oregon, sorry, and 8-6 on Clubhouse, going the way of Counteract eventually. But of course a very close game coming out between the two teams. So, with Clubhouse being on the board again, we may see it coming into a very close situation between these two teams on that map, but so far Villa certainly seems to be very much in favour of Counteract, who currently sat on the match point after 7 rounds played. We're currently on round number 8. Of course, deciding to go for the arguably, well, the very standard ranked site rotation, starting in the Aviator Games room, moving to Statutory and Trophy, and then normally people would move down to the Kitchen Memorial room down here. Of course, if they do win this site, we will not see them move downstairs, as they will win this first map of this best of 2. However, a lot has to happen before... I'm going to start the sentence again. A lot of people have to die before we see that happen, is what I was possibly trying to say. I don't know. As I said to Lydia and the rest of you in the chat, it's been a long week. I'm tired. I can't wait for the weekend, to be honest. Anyway, we see Curly here playing the smoke close up on a shield protected by one lowly ADS, currently holding the angle onto the master bedroom window. Of course, can see through the shield now with these little slots in them that have been around for a good year or so. I still remember the days when the shields were not as good as they are now. Of course, if you see someone at the window, you can quickly press that circle button or whatever he has for crouch, pop up and just destroy somebody's head. But that's if someone actually tries contesting them, and currently no one is. There's a little bit of damage done onto SBRX Gamer there. I think that's just him dropping off the roof, and it was slightly too far away. So he broke his leg slightly. Kills on the little cheeky upside down rappel here. But of course, with nobody actually playing close in the closet or in the bathroom, we can't really utilise it. But now we start seeing the side of Zodiac be pushing Real Nincompoop, getting a beautiful, by the sounds of it, one tap with the SMG-11 all the way from the study window onto the player of SBRX Gamer on that balcony. Managing to completely clean his head off. Now decides to rotate back to site. Now they have the numbers advantage very much back in their favour. Currently sat at 4-5 as we see the remaining members of Zodiac B pushing in through the master bedroom. Of course, Curly, though, playing that very strong position, proves it here with the SMG-11. Pops up and just takes the head clean off Ruben as well, now destroying the shield on Blackbeard. He now has to switch to a second, and he's being swung here by the rear Nincompoop. Of course, the shield saving his life there, eating a lot of damage, but of course, leaving him on very low health. Now takes even more off by accidentally walking into that electrified wall. kills, and Lone Wolf now playing in this master bedroom, trying to burn the smoke of Curly off of this position. Not quite managing it just yet. Kills playing now aggressively on this angle, but you do not want to contest that shield kills. People have died here. You don't want the same to happen to you as he tries to hold the angle. As I say that though, Weasty playing all the way back in Astronomy, I believe, manages to take the head off of the other player of Zodiac pushing his sight. I wasn't sure it was, but a refrag coming out there as he pushes up, gets taken out by the Blackbeard, coming out from Connor. And now we see, unfortunately, a 1v4 situation once again for Zodiac B. This time Kills in the driver's seat, who's completely rotated off the site, is coming from a completely unknown direction. Might be able to get a couple of kills here, but with 10 seconds left on the clock and Diffuser not in hand, it looks like it's all over here for Zodiac B. Something insane would have to happen for him to clutch this. He does get one, but unfortunately isn't able to get any more as he tries to push in through the Wolf connector. And map number 1, Villa, goes 7 rounds to 1 in favour of Counteract. Of course, proving that on Villa anyway, they certainly have what it takes to win versus Zodiac B in today's game. 2 MVPs from this one, definitely being Real and Connor Wilson on the side of Counteract, but Ruben doing his part on the defensive for Zodiac B. Unfortunately not really finding his feet or any kills after like the first 4 or 5 rounds on defense. So unfortunately wasn't able to really assist his team any further, but certainly helped them in those early stages, and there were certainly 2 or 3 rounds there we saw right at the very beginning that should have gone in favour of, should have gone in favour of Zodiac being left in 1vXs that they definitely should have won, but unfortunately were not able to. Now we're going to have a quick 5-minute break after I've sorted out these predictions. Counteract were the winners, so well done everybody that voted on them. There are your channel points. And Lydia's replied, my boyfriend is on Rebel, so I think he was watching one of your casts and I liked it, so I started watching too. Oh, sweet. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Are you casting Rebel Nation versus Windows Key tomorrow? I don't think I am. I've certainly not heard anything yet, and I think at the moment, depending on what time it is, I've also got a game tomorrow at like 6. So I don't think I'll be able to do that one, Lydia. But I'm glad that you enjoyed my casting, and cheers for tuning in and being one of the regulars. Indeed, Bibish, well played to Counteract. Ruben had a very good game. He did, unfortunately, though, in the sort of towards the second half, maybe didn't quite have as much impact as he would have liked. But of course, yeah, hopefully he can, of course, keep that fire in his belly as we go into the second map, which will see us going to Clubhouse, I believe it is. I will sort that in a second. But anyway, for now, we're going to have a quick 5-minute break so I can have a little drink and just nip to the toilet. So I'm just going to whack some ads on. They greatly help the channel out, so if you don't mind watching them, that would be greatly appreciated. And once the ads are all finished, we'll be back for map number 2, which sees us go to Clubhouse. Welcome back, everybody. Apologies, I was a little bit quiet there. I'm writing a message. Would you believe it? Have I unmuted myself? Yes, I have. Good. I was hoping you'd all heard that bit. There you go. I'm just popping another message in. So for those of you that aren't watching, although you can't tell because if you're not watching, you can't hear me right now. Then for those of those, it's one of those days. It's a Friday, everybody. Please let me off. But yeah, for those that aren't watching, I just dropped a quick message in the Discord. Hopefully get some more people in. Of course, if you do know of anybody that would be interested in watching this second game between these two teams, then do drop them a link to my channel. It'd be greatly appreciated, and it'd be awesome to see us maybe even hit 100 followers by the end of this stream. Is that too much to ask for? It'd be incredible if we can do, but no pressure if not. But of course, if you do know some friends of yours that are into any sort of competitive Siege, and of course want to see like an entry level Siege, not necessarily into all the full Pro League stuff, but want to see a little bit of entry level, maybe find some ways to improve and stuff, then whack them over here and I can certainly help out there. I'm always happy to answer questions and stuff, and at some point I will also be doing some streams that aren't cast or necessarily competitive play related, where I'll just be playing on my own and you can ask me questions there. I can maybe help answer people's questions and help people improve, hopefully anyway. I'm not making any promises, otherwise it might get me under the Trade Descriptions Act. Anyway, now that I finish my little break, I'm just going to double check that everybody is ready. And once we have confirmed everybody is ready, then we will head into this map number 2. Counteract start on the offensive once again, with Zodiac B on the defensive. Of course, we'll just have to wait and see how this one plays out. Starting on the same sides as last time. So we'll see whether the defensive favours Zodiac B more on Clubhouse, or whether the offensive favours Counteract more. They've certainly been clicking so far, but whether after this small break Zodiac B have managed to bring it back together, I'm not quite sure. So once we're in this game, we'll have to wait and see. Hey Frank, how you doing, man? Always dropping that raid. Just wait for Zodiac B to confirm and then we'll be going in. But while I'm waiting for that confirmation, let's get the predictions underway. Will Counteract take game number 2 and the win from this best of 2, or will we see Zodiac B get the fire underneath them that they need to, of course, pull this one through and walk away with at least 1 point? Because from Counteract winning the first map, they have secured themselves 1 point from this best of 2. But of course, if they win the second map, they will secure themselves the full 3 points, which sees them move even higher up on the league table. I can't remember exactly where they'd move to because stats at this time of the day. No, thank you. But of course, if Zodiac B are able to get at least 1 point on the board, it certainly helps them because it means that it keeps Counteract closer to other teams on the scoreboard. So other teams, if they get wins, can overtake Counteract, pushing them further down the league and maybe out into the relegation spots. But it also means that Zodiac, even though they might not have pushed all the way up with getting the full 3 points, if they can just get 1 point, it also moves them up a little bit as well. So maybe in a later matchup, they might win against a team, and those 3 points are enough to catapult them into the playoff spots, which is exactly what every single team wants in this league at the moment. I just need to get the all go from Zodiac B. And then once I've got that confirmation, we'll be ready to go. Haven't got full ticks across the board, so I won't be going in until I have something on Discord to prove otherwise. And of course, once I'm given that everybody's ready, so let's go into map number 2, seeing us into Clubhouse. It is Clubhouse. Yes, it is Clubhouse. I got it right. Good luck, everyone, as we welcome both these teams onto the second map of Clubhouse. Both these teams played each other yesterday, although Counteract in a slightly different configuration from one we're seeing today, as I myself was playing on the Counteract roster yesterday, facing off against the Zodiac B team. Yesterday's match saw the game eventually go 8-6, of course going into overtime to reach that sort of scoreline, where Counteract were eventually able to win it out. But it was very touch and go at a few points, and I did not feel confident about winning that game. It was very good that we did manage to win it in the end, but bloody hell was it close at a few points. Anyway, the first ban coming out so far, once again Zodiac B deciding that they just don't want to play against the Thatcher. I would almost argue that on the Clubhouse map, maybe even banning something like the Maverick would actually be more beneficial to a team than banning out the Thatcher. Because Thatcher can be useful, but there are ways to trick him. Whether that is with a Cade trick, whether that's with a Bandit trick, and of course with a good Bandit tricker or a good Bandit player, or even a Cade player, you can very easily trick any Ace charges or Thermite charges, and certainly Hibana pellets. But of course with the Ace being taken off the board, that is certainly just completely gone. And once again, the Mirror being banned out by the side of Counteract. We faced off against Mirror far too many times yesterday, and we're just sick of it. Well, Counteract are, I'm not playing, so I don't really care at this point. But yes, the Mirror being banned out this time, of course, the butthurtness, the fact that we went to overtime yesterday as the Counteract roster, we just do not want to deal with that Mirror again, and that Vector in the hands of FA Nova is just disgusting. So of course that being removed off the board certainly means that some of the strats are going to have to slightly changed up on the Zodiac B side of things. But of course, with the Thatcher and the Mute ban coming out, maybe there could have been better bans that Zodiac B could have used against Counteract if there were certain operators that they really didn't like playing against. So we'll of course have to see how this works out for both of these teams. Counteract certainly, I feel, have won on the banning phase. Of course, getting rid of that Ace, meaning there's one less hard breacher to use. That of course because they're starting on the attack, they're picking the hard breacher that they want to use, while maybe it might not be the preferred hard breacher on the side of Zodiac when they go into the offensive. But certainly getting rid of that Mirror that they had so many issues with yesterday when they played against this very same team, taking that off the board certainly puts Zodiac B in a bit of a difficult position that they've maybe got to try and make up a little bit for, since they no longer have that Mirror in play.
Attackers need to locate and defuse.
Anyway, the first site being picked out here on the side of Zodiac B is very standard. We see them going to CC and Cash Room. And by the looks of it, a relatively... what's the word I'm looking for now? A relatively normal setup coming out, of course, bringing the Cade and the Bandit for that wall denial. The Smoke to probably play in Cash Room with a shield. The Legion for a bit of... sound cues and information, and of course just delaying tactics with those goo mines placed all around site, maybe playing construction, and then finally the Jaeger with those ADSs to stop nades being thrown into sight, either to help with the Bandit, help keep that shield safe by the looks of it, and also anybody playing top of rafters. But will anybody play there? Nobody looks like they're going to be playing it just yet, but we'll have to wait and see. We'll play Zodiac, come on Counteract, let's make it 2-2. Indeed, Zombie Slayer. I put my points on Counteract, so Zodiac will most likely win. Yep, that's normally the way it goes, isn't it, Lydia? So far, I think you've almost backed the losing team every time I think you put points on this. But as we say that, Ruben with a beautiful little opening headshot onto Little Dark, getting things started the way that Zodiac B definitely want them being started here. Not quite sure where he actually picked him up. Seems like it was maybe from this window here. Maybe it was around the main entrance. Honestly, I don't know. He got picked up somewhere, and either way he's now off the board and will be taking no further part in this very first round. Meaning that, of course, the numbers advantage goes in favour of Zodiac B. Lots of members playing very close together here, though. Of course, how might this work out? If a, of course, very nicely landed nade could very quickly polish them all off. Of course, playing together might also be exactly what these players need, as they see a little bit of a Maverick hole being made there, starting to try and open up the wall. With the Cade and the Bandit in, though, it seems like they had the Bandit on the wall to begin with, and now the Bandit batteries, apart from one, have been taken off, but now a Cade has also been placed on. So exactly how they're going to get stuff off this wall, I'm not quite sure, as Lone Wolf manages to pick up a nice little kill onto Connor Wilson, but FA Nova was traded back in the process. SPRX Gamer, playing from below at the bottom garage, managed to pick up a kill on to, who was it who died? Real Nincompoop, all the way over in the VIP, also taking out two of those Nomads, stopping any sort of rotate. Weasty is now trying to push up onto this wall, but with those Maverick holes being at feet level and maybe not quite giving him enough space, he's going to find it difficult to maybe put that Thermite charge down on that. And as you can see, with that much longer angle being held by the likes of Bandit, shots are coming out here currently. And of course, if he's in slightly the wrong place, a headshot may even come out onto the likes of the Thermite, which could completely take him off this board. He's now placing down that Bandit? That Thermite charge, though, and finally opening up that wall. The Cade no longer being in play, meaning the Bandit would have had to push up if he was going to try and trick it, but he decided not to. Curly currently playing as the Maverick, playing on this secret rappel outside the main breach. Does a bit of damage onto the Bandit, who was playing top of rafters. Now Weasty being challenged by Ruben all the way from rear stage, managing to take him out with a nice little headshot. Two players sticking together, deciding to go to the bottom of garage. A drone coming out from Weasty, droning Curly in, who's the healthier member. At the bottom of garage, of course, swinging, checking, make sure no one's near those bikes. But the call coming out that SPRX Gamer is currently playing in the top of the rafters. Took out that drone. Curly sees him though, and is now holding the angle. No nades left in pocket for him to push. He sees the bandit red team, but 15 seconds left on the clock. They have not been paying attention to time, nor have I, as now they have to execute, pushing up onto this gantry stairs, and a very easy pick up there for SPRX Gamer, getting first one and then the other, as the two remaining members of Counteract have to rush into the garage, trying to take it very quickly. And unfortunately, with time not being on their side, they have to run, be a bit sloppy, which unfortunately means for them that Zodiac B get round number 1 on their side on this defensive start for them on Clubhouse. Much better plays coming out there from Zodiac B, of course, managing to keep it together more than they did previously, getting that opening kill and then just not letting their numbers advantage fall from that point forwards. Keeping the numbers very much on their side right until the very end, also playing that time game, meaning that the few remaining members of Counteract that were pushing on in did not have much time to react, just had to hit their heads, and unfortunately neither Curly nor Weasty were able to hit their heads in the gunfight that ensued, which unfortunately meant their heads were instead hit and they ended up losing that round. So far though, the game is not lost. There is still plenty that they can do, but this is certainly a good sign for Zodiac B after of course losing the first map 7-1. Of course we could see this completely swing back in Counteract's favour and they completely get 7 flawless rounds in a row against Zodiac. But it's certainly a good sign to see the very first round on this map, where of course the two teams faced off yesterday and got so close and ended up in overtime, to see of course Zodiac B have bringing a similar performance to this map right at the very beginning. Good first round for Zodiac, indeed it was Beamish. And Sync, what league is this? This is the PS4 European Rainbow Six League, the one that you're playing in with Maz and a couple of others as Vortex Gaming. Hopefully that explains it for you, my dude. The one where I'm an admin, basically. If I say it's a league that I'm a caster on, that doesn't help, because I'm a caster on almost every league at this point. But if it's a league where I'm an admin, then that's the league that we're on about. One member currently of Zodiac B, which is once again the Legion, but this time played by FA Nova, is currently on the wide roam, currently playing all the way upstairs in construction. On his own some though, so of course a good bit of drone work from Counteract could of course drone him out, and a nice pincer maneuver could easily get rid of him, especially without that support from another player on his team. But currently he's sat upstairs nice and pretty, nice and safe, of course not worried about anything, because so far nobody realises he's up here. So he's just going to sit here and enjoy himself until he needs to make a move. Currently though, 3 members of Counteract playing on the bottom of main stairs, but also now pushing up. They now realise that someone's upstairs and they need to do this clear. Little Dart running through the gym, breaking the window and jumping out onto the balcony. As now they're starting to apply the pressure. You see one already in the top of garage holding a cheeky angle. One sign push to construction in the CC. But as you say that, the drones are chasing FA Nova and he drops onto the red stairs. Connor though, pushing from the bottom of the main stairs, is now in sight, I believe. Yes, Connor's playing close on Modo. He's about to be swung though by one of the players. Shots coming out though. Misses them. Real Nincompoop though manages to finally pick up FA Nova as the pins from the rest of Counteract. Oh dear, SPRX Gaming swinging that corner there, having his head clean taken off by Connor, but Connor taking lots of damage in the process. But yes, the pinch coming out from Counteract, of course, that drones managed to pick up what the FA Nova was playing on top floor. He was all on his own and eventually got pinched out. They've now completely given up top floor because they know it's clear. They know it's completely clear, and now they're starting to push onto the blue site here. 2 now have dropped into Modo though, as of course they have a lot of A site control, and now we see Weasty running in with that diffuser going to plant behind Black Box as Connor covers him. The rest of the players though quite far off site, so exactly where they're going to push from, where they're going to hold from, I'm not quite sure, but the plant is now down behind Black Box as the last 2 remaining members, Ruben and Kills, are left in a 2v5. Kills gets a nice opening pick with the SMG-11 though, taking the head off Connor Wilson, but Curly gets a reflag, and Real Nincompoop picks up Ruben, who was away from sight. A very well executed round there from the likes of Counteract. A little bit too much map control being given up on the side of Zodiac B. Of course losing a member of their team who should have been safely in sight there, away from Connor. But unfortunately got picked up there as Connor did an aggressive push down the main stairs. Obviously the call was that maybe everybody was pressuring FA Nova on the top floor, which of course did very good time wasting for him, but unfortunately at the end of the day, 4 of them went upstairs to pinch FA Nova, which allowed Connor to just sneak on down the main stairs and into sight and collect 2 heads. Well, 1 head as he pushed in and a further 2 when he eventually got further into sight of the members of Zodiac B, which of course meant that not only did they lose the Roma, but they also lost 1 in sight, which meant that that time advantage was basically nullified by the number of players that they still had left on the board. With only 3 members being left on the board in sight, it certainly meant that Counteract could take things a little slower. They could push in a little more aggressively, and as you saw, they basically just completely took A site with very little contesting coming out from the side of Zodiac B. But of course, that was mainly because they lost that player early on at the bottom of the main stairs from Connor, and with FA Nova off the board as well. Despite the time that he wasted playing on that top floor, it wasn't quite enough for them to eventually win it out, and a good round from Counteract puts them back in this, as of course on round number 3 we see the scores currently being 1-1. Let's go Zodiac, then gets us into those playoffs. I think Connor has a bit of dust on his mouse. Connor plays with the controller as far as I'm aware. I certainly have no beliefs that he plays with anything else. So unless he's typing something in chat, then I don't think he'd be using his mouse there. So, yeah, your vote's certainly going on the side of Zodiac B, because of course if they win this, then it stops Counteract getting as far ahead, which of course keeps Vortex Gaming, who Shink plays for, or Sync, however you want to call him, very much in that playoff spot, top 5. So for those of you that don't already know, the setup of the league is there are currently 10 teams playing it at the moment. At the end of this, the team with the highest number of points will go straight through to the grand final, with teams 2 to 5 going through into the playoffs. Everybody below position 5 will unfortunately leave us at that point and take no further part in organised games for this league, as they unfortunately didn't make the playoffs. So of course we have to see who gets into those spots. A drone though getting the spotting out the Legion, currently playing Clash as Real Nincompoop starts pushing up close here in the CC position. The Ash as well of Connors about to swing from construction, and there you go, perfect headshot onto Ruben's head, takes him out of the game once more. Wasted quite a bit of time there, as there's still 1 minute 40 on the clock. But maybe it would have been nice to waste a little bit more time and maybe have even picked up a kill in all of that, but unfortunately he was not able to. So hey ho, he plays with a pineapple, there you go, that's the secret, Connor plays with an actual pineapple. But yes, as I was saying about the league though, of course the top 5 go through to playoffs, with the top team going straight into the grand final. At that point, position number 2 and 5 will go into a quarter-final game, as will position 3 and 4. The winners of that will go to a semi-final, while the losers go into a losers bracket. Then the semi-final, the winner from that game will then face off against the overall winner from the start of the league, and then they will be crowned champion of Season 1 for the PS4 European Rainbow Six League. We're a long way off that yet, as we still have 4 to 5 weeks to go. As we now see a kitchen hatch drop coming out, and Connor dropping with Weasty. Weasty now gets the plant down nicely. Of course, Cade playing in bottom of dirt, but the likes of Curly being right behind him. Does he quite realise? No, he doesn't. Little Dark trading back and forth. It's now 3v2. Curly goes in, managed to take the head off Lone Wolf. Well, nicely played there from Curly. But FA Nova being left in this Modo position does manage to down Little Dark there. Now left in a 1v2 situation. Prefire's coming out as he swings the kitchen door. Not kitchen door, church door, sorry. He now knows the one player's down. They've now called out though, so a swing might be about to come out here from Curly, but he's just playing time at the moment. Shots coming out. A nice trade there coming right out there at the end. Of course, Curly manages to land the headshot. But FA Nova also managed to take out Curly. If only that had been a situation with the numbers being very much more in favour on the side of Zodiac B. Unfortunately though, with Real Nincompoop being left alive on the side of Counteract, does mean that with 1 man left standing and the diffuser planted, the win goes in favour of Counteract, who now win, or are leading, 2 rounds to 1. Hopefully the 1 round we saw right at the very beginning of this isn't the only round that Zodiac B are able to win. But of course, so far, Counteract have answered back very strongly after that first round win on the side of Zodiac. Being able to put 2 rounds on the board, back to back. Welcome back, Josh. not sure when you left, but unfortunately you may have missed the very well played first round by Zodiac B. Able to get one round on the board, but unfortunately Counteract have answered back with a vengeance and have managed to get 2 rounds on the board themselves as we head into round number 4. As 3 rounds are now passed since the 2 rounds and the round itself where the top floor was played, the top floor CC cash room is now available again for the defending side, and of course having won it in the very first round, Zodiac B are deciding this is going to be their best site to play now, and they've now moved into this position. Maz is back as well. Woo! What was the score map 1? The score map 1, Maz, was 7-1 in favour of Zodiac. Looks like it's on the road. So indeed it is. So far both of these teams have been certainly trading backwards and forwards. Counteract eventually getting the advantage. Managing to take out the roamers with not too much contest, and unfortunately not as much time as maybe Zodiac B would have liked being wasted in the process. What exactly is this smoke doing on the side of Ruben? Seems he's opened up some footholes and some head holes onto this garage wall. There we go, some head holes to throw some smokes through, or to stand on this cash table here and look all the way through this head hole here onto the gantry stairs all the way over here. But also opening up a crouchable rotate for his players who are currently playing at the top of rafters. The breach already going down. Unfortunately, the Cade not able to trick it. Cade, if you're throwing it out at that point, it's too late. You're already done. Unfortunately, Lone Wolf not able to get the Cade trick right there. He did still have one in pocket, but not quite able to manage it, so the main breach is now open. As we see the Maverick of Curly and the Thermite of Weasty playing on this secret rappel at the moment, watching onto the double breach. A nade coming out though as those ADSs are wasted, blows up the shield that Smoke was playing, which moves 2 players of Counteract back into the B side. Good angles being held there by all team members, means the Lone Wolves taken down, but Weasty managing to get some good shots onto SBRX Gamer, and Ruben has also been downed. Not quite sure where from. Killzo is still playing in the bottom of Garage and is currently facing off against the Twitch, manages to down Real Nincompoop, putting it back in favour of Zodiac B, a 4v3. 2 players currently playing on the breach, and Little Dark playing outside on the construction, not the construction balcony, the CC balcony. Little Dark being a little bit wary of people, of course, swinging in from construction side. Weasty and Curly, though, just deciding exactly what their next move is going to be. They still have plenty of time here, so they're just taking their time discussing what their options are and then deciding exactly how to push in on this one. Weasty playing close to the breach, though, so I'll have to see exactly what he wants to do. His drone's still on the roof. Smoker's gone below. Seems like might be trying to play a bit of a vertical with the shotgun through the floor. Maybe Smokes through it as well. We see Cade holding a tight angle though onto the close breach, and Jaeger playing all the way back in cash. Smoke going for a big rotate though. Maybe this isn't the time to do it. Going for a big rotate all the way on the ground floor. Maybe looking to come back up these back stairs and in through construction. As also Valkyrie is still playing below in Garage. Now deciding to rotate back into site with only 40 seconds left on the clock. The push needs to be coming out soon on the side of Counteract, otherwise they're going to be leaving it too late, but playing time has certainly worked out for them as the rotate of the Cade has been picked off by Little Dark from the window, and Weasty is now in sight. Planting, C4 is ripped, is blown up, but he manages to get out there alive. Only 20 health left on his body though, so he could easily be taken out. Nice to decide exactly where he wants to plant this. He could plant nice and tight to this breach, close on the wall, or he's going for the default spot. That's where he's going. Default spot, here it goes. Now is Ruben still below? He is. Ping's coming out, but he misses it. Double kill from Little Dark, but shots going out, downing Weasty with the diffuser. Unfortunately not able to get his plant down. Plant being picked up though by Curly, but he's not able to quite get it down. And round number 4 goes in favour of Zodiac B. Very well played there with Ruben, of course, playing from below. Curly not quite having the space that he needed to, of course, get that plant down, meant that despite the fact that it was now a 1v3, I believe, or a 1v2, no, 2v2, apologies, it was still the Jaeger of FA Nova was still alive by the looks of it outside on the balcony. Did mean that probably Curly would have lost that one as trying to put the plant down with one member still left alive who was very much within close proximity on the side of Zodiac B. Would have definitely won the round for them there, but well played on those vertical angles. Weasty, a bit of a misplay there, I think, after already trying to go for that default plant spot, and yes, a C4 being wasted, maybe the default plant spot wasn't the play. They're certainly wise to his theatrics and decided to completely blow up the floor around him and then eventually take him off with an SMG pre-fire through the floor. Of course, good damage being done onto him previously, meaning he was in such a low position, meaning he could be downed, meaning the diffuser would not get planted. of course, resulted in Zodiac B managing to win that one, despite Counteract looking so strong right at the very end. Unfortunately, they choked, and were not able to get that plant down. And the Zodiac B now take this one 2-2. A very even matchup so far as we head into round number 5. And now we see Zodiac B going into the top floor. Jim. Yes, we saw that accuracy kills. Don't you shake your head at me, boy. Yes, we see them going upstairs into the gym and master bedroom. No mirror in play though, so they won't be able to play the mirror positions that they did against Counteract yesterday. So of course, bringing in a slightly different setup. Exactly how much it will differ, we will see. Over, of course, an aggressive spawn peek coming out here from kills. Will he see anybody? Nobody currently there. Unfortunately, just misses the sledge of Nincompoop, who was pushing into the garage. One member of Counteract though is just rappelling up onto the strip. Of course, doesn't quite manage to get the Valkyrie. And one member sledge on Real Nincompoop already up into these rafters, pushing the top floor. I am back. Hey, Dark, how you doing, buddy? Thought he was stupid when he with 3 smoke canisters. Yeah, so did I, but he managed to actually get back below into VIP. Seems he didn't want to go through at that point and just went on a very long rotate. If that's say, what was that first game score? There you go. And then now Real Nincompoop doing a lot of drone work out here. Apologies that I just saw him. We'll just re-chat a little bit and communicate with you guys. A little bit of pre-fire coming out from Bandit there. Unfortunately, not able to get it. But of course, answered back by Curly, who was on this nice cheeky little rappel here, watching the angle all the way through into construction. Ruben managed to pick up Real Nincompoop as he aggressively swings from construction. Doesn't lose too much health in the process either. But FA Nova, don't exactly know how he got lit up, but man, he is on 20 health and not feeling great. Maybe stood a little bit too close to that hatch when it was first opened. But certainly the members of Zodiac B not looking the healthiest they could be right now. But of course they still have the numbers advantage with 5 members still alive compared to Counteract's 4. Counteract deciding exactly how they want to push this one here, as they do still have a member of Zodiac B playing in the cash room. Drone's coming in now to drone him out, but of course, depending on where the push comes from, will depend on whether he loses gunfight or not. And a good swing there from Connor, the timing being very good on that one. Of course, the moment the Ruben looks away from the angle is the moment the man swings. And the call mustn't have come out. Connor still being in construction means that he just picks up the kill onto FA Nova, just ran through. Obviously didn't expect to find the Sophia so far up into construction at that point, thinking maybe it was safe, pushing in maybe to try and retake a bit of the site, but unfortunately means that one of their low health players is taken off. The remaining 3 players still on relatively tasty hit points right here. But as I say, that SPRX Gamer gets down from the window. A good pre-fire coming out from Little Dark, who obviously got droned in there to get the kill. But a refrag comes out there from the Valkyrie of Kills. Getting a double kill as picks also up Little Dark. Weasty manages to get the refrag though. And now Sight is in the control of Counteract. Weasty now, with the fuse in hand, goes in for a plant behind the default A-bomb. Will Pings come out on his position? Lone Wolf does not have a C4 in play, but he can try and go below. Unfortunately, the plant has now been done. Pistol out though, means he can sprint a little bit faster. He now tries to go on a full map rotate. Try and get back towards Sight here. Weasty's now gone back outside and is holding the tight angle onto the CC wall. Misses the shots though onto the Cade. That is not what you wanted to be doing, Weasty. But of course it slows the Cade down, slows the push down. A beautiful little shot there. Perfect timing to switch. Lone Wolf doesn't see the Claymore though. Oh, very unfortunate right there at the end. Of course, the red mist descends. He needed to try so hard to get this win. Left in that 1v2 situation right at the end there. And unfortunately doesn't quite see the red lines of the Claymore. Sadly can't hear my calls either, although they would have come a few minutes late, so unfortunately, man gets tripped up and over. Unfortunately get absolutely slapped. Claymores, of course, can prove very crucial, especially in those sort of dying round situations where you're left in those very difficult positions. I certainly think that Lone Wolf, I believe it was playing the Cade in the last round, correct me if I'm wrong, being left in that situation, the last thing he was thinking of was looking out for a Claymore on the floor. His eyes were very much probably focused on the construction door, expecting somebody to swing him at any moment, so unfortunately his eyes were not down on the ground, seeing those red lasers that unfortunately spell death in the Siege community. Unfortunately not able to see it, tripping over those wires, triggering the Claymore and blowing his body across the cash room, meaning that Counteract managed to just about win that round. It got very close to them right at the end. They did have the diffuser down, so things weren't all lost. There was a lot that had to be done by Lone Wolf. But the fact that he'd been able to pick up the kill so easily onto Weasty, of course contesting that CC window, meant that he did have a very good chance, unfortunately, by missing that Claymore though. Chances were over, and we now see round number 6. But a much better half so far from Zodiac B. Sees them, of course, with 2 rounds on the board compared to the 1 that they only had in the previous match. Can we see a repeat of yesterday, where Zodiac B managed to take Counteract all the way to overtime? Only time will tell on this one. But now the final time we'll see both these teams on their respective sides. But oh no, SPRX Gamer going for a very aggressive spawn peek. We see them manage to pick him up, but instantly fragged back by Ruben. Managing to get a little nincompoop, and Ruben getting another one, a double kill, picking off the head of Connor. Man is popping off. He was doing really well in the previous game, and now he's found that fire again, getting 2 kills in quick succession after 1 early frag came in favour of Counteract, of course completely nullifying any advantage that they might have had, and meaning his team is now left in a 3v4, or a 4v3, because they certainly have the advantage. I think this is the first good cast I've seen. Thank you very much, my dude. Dr. Death 037, or 9037. 0307, my bad. Curly, though, playing a nice cheeky angle, watching all the way through the long corridor. He's moved off it now, so you can't quite see it, but managed to, of course, pick up the rotating FA Nova on the Jaeger there. As you see, he was holding from basically the position where we see is, but behind these boxes there's a nice few little angles that you can hold all the way down this long corridor, all the way into the bathroom. Basically nullifying that rotate, and unfortunately FA Nova was none the wiser and had his head clean taken off. Whoa, you see me, Cass? No, I ain't conscious. Conscious is very good, Joshua, and the fact that we team up is greatly appreciated on both sides. I know that, well, I think it's agreed between the two of us that we do better casts when we're both doing it together, because of course it means that we can both have a bit of a break, we can both keep the action going the entire time. As I say that though, Curly trying to get a few shots through the floor as the hatch isn't open, but there's certainly some holes through it. But getting pushed off by the SMG-11, playing below of kills. Side of Counteract sort of stalling a little bit here, but now we see Little Dark dropping into that blue and just pushing completely into Church because it's completely clear, picking up the kill on kills as he jumps over that shield. A bad placement for the shield, of course, being in the mid jump animation means he cannot shoot back as Weasty now plants behind the black box. Weasty always with the diffuser in hand, getting so many plants down so far this game and the previous one. Lone Wolf and Ruben now left in a 1v3 situation, having to retake that church site, which is very difficult when you have so much control behind the black box, which is where the diffuser has been planted. Lone Wolf not realising exactly where they are and where they've dropped in. Sees ahead of Ibana, but doesn't quite manage to land shots. Little Dark, of course, answering back with a double kill. Ruben, though, manages to nest himself a triple kill. Taking out Curly on the main stairs, but now his position has been revealed, and with 17 seconds left on the clock, this man has to do something mad to win this one, and that mad is get an ace, but unfortunately, Weasty says no. Round number 6 is ours, and takes Ruben's head clean off, using that shield to his advantage, rather than the advantage of the defenders. Maybe not the best shield placement, but of course, everybody can say that in hindsight with so many other things. Very well played there from both teams, though. Unfortunately, though, once again, Zodiac B getting the man advantage, but leaving quite a large hole open into that church site, allowing Counteract to, of course, drone it out, which they've been proving they are very good at so far. Lots of drone work coming out on their side, meaning that they just realised it's completely clear, and they're just like, sorry, Little Dark, go in there, check if it's clear. He runs in, it's clear. So Weasty comes and joins him, gets the plant down, gets a couple of picks on the way as well, and there you have it, rounder all the way in favour of Counteract. Maybe a little bit more intel on the side of Zodiac B would have maybe helped there, but now's all said and done, their defensive side is finished unless we see overtime, and now we see them moving on to attack. First site being picked here on this side of Counteract is the CCTV cache site. Deciding exactly how they're going to be holding this. Arcade being brought out for that wall denial. Weasty also being on the Maestro, bringing that dangerous weapon of the Outer. 81, 82 rounds in that beast of a gun. You can just hold down the fire button right at the end of a round and hopefully, of course, collect as many heads of people trying to rush into sight. So it's a very dangerous weapon to be left on board, and if he can keep it alive right until the late game, could prove crucial. We also see Connor playing on the Jaeger, of course, being aggressive both on the roam and on, of course, the entry frags, both this game and the previous one. Netted him quite the scoreline previously. Curly on the smoke, though, can be absolutely deadly with the SMG-11. I've played with him myself quite a few times, and this man does disgusting things to people with the SMG-11. They should not be allowed. It's against the Geneva Convention. But anyway, Real Nincompoop being the final one, being on the cage, trying to, of course, keep that wall from being opened. Currently, though, just using the cades in those little positions. You see one above the TVs here, and the other one is probably in the top right-hand corner. There you go, just above the drone hole. Can be got off with a nade if it's placed through the drone hole, but they also do have a Twitch in play that could get it. But the Twitch is instantly taken out, as I say that, as Curly chooses the perfect time to swing that corner and manage to take out that Twitch drone. Real Nincompoop manages to get an FA Nova, who was playing below on the garage angle. I can't quite see where that was. Yes, below it opened up a little angle, but FA Nova managed to win that one out. Not quite sure where Curly got shot from there, but he does take quite a bit of damage there. Whether he was being slightly aggro onto that Maverick, who is, of course, opening up the wall, trying to make it soft, trying to do the Maverick trick here, but not quite managing it. Maverick, there's a little bit that he needs to get. He doesn't quite get it, and he's left on the tiniest bit of health, of course, being completely contested by the AUG 43 in hand of that Cade. Unfortunately means that the Cades are not taken off the wall, and neither is the wall made soft for the likes of Zofia or Ash to open it, although they do not have that operator left, as Ash was already taken off the board. Why isn't Coasty playing? I have no idea who that is, unfortunately, Dr. Death. And I don't know why he's not playing either. Maybe wasn't available today, or maybe isn't on the roster for this league. I don't recognise the name for the Counteract side, so I'm assuming that's the Zodiac B player. Watch out! Oh no! Oh no! That was very nearly a team kill coming out there from SBRX Gamer. A bit of miscommunication coming there between the teammates meant that Kills just stuck his leg in the way right there when SBRX Gamer, but unfortunately Kills gets down there as the Maverick holes, of course, proving actually crucial in Counteract's defense here. Being made slightly too far over in an attempt to open up that wall and make it soft does mean that the feet of the Thermite can be shot. Maverick also lost almost all of his health to that very same angle, so exactly where he's going to be pushing here will yet to be found out. Lone Wolf managed to get a nice little shot onto Little Dart there, playing in the construction side, but with the numbers still being very much in favour of Counteract, 4-2. We'll have to see how this one plays out. Shots coming out from the Cade though, playing top of rafters, doesn't quite manage to connect with Lone Wolf as he now pushes in. Sees the head of the Maestro. The Maestro doesn't quite manage to land the shots though. There's now both members of Zodiac B have pushed in, but a run out from Connor manages to secure the man with the diffuser jumping in construction, and finally the held down Trigger the Elder finally secures the man who was still alive in construction, securing round number 7 in favour of Counteract. A very good defence coming out from them there, and of course a bit of a misplay maybe with the Maverick player. Of course, keeping that Cade in play when the Thatcher is banned does mean that without anything to shoot those Cades off the wall, it's very difficult for the side of Zodiac B to open up that wall. And of course, bringing the Maverick and using it the way that Kills did in the previous round, unfortunately meant that ended up in the resulting death of his friendly Thermite, of course, through those footholes, and also lost all of his health to that angle as well. Very much a misplay there, unfortunately, on the Maverick side, but I can tell you this, he certainly won't be making that same mistake ever again. Or at least they will try and find different ways to push in. They'll watch this back, they'll see where the Cades were placed, and of course if they have a face-up against Counteract again, they will know where they are located and try and get them off the wall with other means. Or, as I would personally do, just not ban Thatcher. Thatcher isn't always that great, depending on how good the Thatcher player is. And of course, he only disables gadgets, so of course unless you destroy a Cade wire or a bandit charge, then they'll just reactivate and they're not destroyed. Same with ADS, the same with any other gadget. So technically Thatcher has been nerfed with, of course, the changes that were made to him a few seasons ago. But we'll have to see. Curly there waiting to make the rotate, of course just getting the confirmation that that's exactly where the side of Counteract were wanting it to be made. Curly being a recent pickup for this team in the mid-season transfer window that happened recently. Curly got picked up and added to the Counteract roster from the Paradox team. Of course, it was a shame to lose him, as I am on the Paradox team myself. I am their team captain. And it's a shame to see him go, but as he wanted to play with other people, and this roster in particular. They offered him a place, so he took the opportunity. Lone Wolf, though, manages to get a nice little kill onto Real Nincompoop. They was playing aggressively at the end of the dirt tunnel. Now meaning that with the help of that Maverick, there is a hole open. That means they can possibly try and take this. Doesn't look like it's quite wide enough, though, so even the thin member of Nomad will not be able to get through. Maverick, though, opens it up a little bit more, meaning that that Nomad and the Maverick can now start pushing into sight. Lone Wolf taking a bit more damage, though, as he pushes in, meaning he's up quite low. And the Malusi of Weasty Bins being played on a very aggressive angle here. Of course, Prefire's coming out. He has been droned. Now the Maverick playing super aggressively. Neither of them really shooting each other. Both walking away on the same health that they had previously open. Of course, we do see a bit of a strange strat here coming out on the side of Counteract with that kitchen hatch being open. Does seem like a couple of players might be playing upstairs, but no, nobody's open. Have they opened that hatch intentionally? It certainly seems that way. There is no sign of any debris in the form of a reinforcement, so it looks like that hatch was opened on the side of Counteract. Almost inviting Zodiac in sight. Is this going to be a little bit of a play, or was this a big mistake on the side of Counteract? Certainly when they've lost the numbers, and here another one falls. Con on the rope gets picked up by the Jackal, pushing from the main reception. Kills, gets another pick there onto Curly as well, which now puts it very much in favour of Zodiac, as we now see with Connor on his arse and Weasty Bins being the only man alive. It's now a 1v5 situation. Weasty here having to do a load of work as he's not able to pick up Connor, managing to do a load of damage onto the SPRX Gamer, but not quite managing to take him out of the game. More shots coming out towards Weasty. He's now definitely is in the 1v5. He needs to get this ace to win out this round as their Bonner drops. Belly flops onto the floor, and a flawless round coming out from Zodiac B. This is certainly the answer that Zodiac B wanted to the couple of rounds that Counteract managed to getting on them. Very well played there. Absolutely flawlessing the side of, not if that isn't even a word, but I'm rolling with it, flawlessing the side of Counteract on their defense. Seems like maybe a specific hold was supposed to have been bought out there on the side of Counteract, but in the end it seems that it just didn't work out. It seems that either that kitchen hatch was left soft accidentally, or it was shot open early on by somebody with a shotgun on the side of Counteract. I certainly don't know for definite whether that was the play or not, but either way, that kitchen hatch was open far too early, which allowed a lot of play to happen around it. Also, early gunfights were lost in favour of Zodiac B, meaning that when they were pushing on into sight, they did have the numbers advantage, and they managed to keep the numbers advantage right until the very end. Of course, still having 5 live members on their side, giving them the flawless rounds. Oh my god, thank you so much, Lydia. We've had our 2nd subscriber so far. Thank you so much, Lydia, for the subscription. Greatly appreciate it. You're now one of my favourite people, along with Dark, who of course dropped the very first one with his Prime subscription. Thank you very much. Greatly appreciate it. It's mad to think that I only had like 7 followers like a month ago, and now I've got nearly 100 and people are subscribing to me. Like, what is this? It's mad. Anyway, I'm just glad that you guys are enjoying my casting so far, and hopefully also just enjoy any other content that I try and stream. Of course, if you guys have any suggestions on what I might be able to do, then they're more than welcome. But thank you all so far for everybody that's followed, and thank you so much to you, Lydia, for dropping that subscription. Thank you very much. So far we see 3 members of Counteract, of course, for some reason, all the way out here. Playing at the end of dirt, but of course the Maverick being brought on through doesn't mean that he can start opening up this wall. Pretty much uncontested, trying to do it from a bit of a safe angle. Seeing if anybody's playing close. Nobody is, but of course at this time we see Curly playing the Ella shotgun, holding a shield partway down dirt tunnel. This is going to be very difficult for the side, for the Maverick to start pushing it. Certainly if he does this alone. He does have nades to maybe take out that shield, but there may be an ADS or a MI that I'm not seeing. There's certainly an ADS would be expected, but no idea. Now the hatch being opened into kitchen this time. That one definitely was opened by the side of... Excuse me. By the side... Oh my goodness, Weasty, what are you doing? Weasty there managing to throw a C4 through the hatch, lands on the floor of kitchen, but he walks underneath it. Shrapnel physics have changed in a couple of patches ago, which means that Weasty now takes almost all of his hit points in damage. Weasty, fun fact for you, also has so far the record for most number of suicides and he almost kept that record and secured it by getting himself 2. Now being contested from the hatch by SBRX Gamer, the Hibana here, also left on incredibly low health, but that was from a previous engagement. Does mean that WeSee now has to fall off. He's still playing very aggressive on this angle, but of course, depending on exactly where that Hibana swings from will depend on where the shots land and whether he will be able to win this engagement. There he sees her, but the Hibana fires first, and WeSee being on such low health from that accidental C4 gets taken out completely, but with it being a headshot, whatever health he was on, it would not have mattered. Curly now being taken down, as a push now comes on through from the dirt tunnel, but Little Dark getting a nice little refrag, killing the player that had pushed down so aggressively into the bottom of blue. 2 players Counteract now playing over around bottom of blue and first box, as 2 members of Zodiac are now stacking up in the dirt tunnel ready to push here. Connor left though. Little Dark being picked up probably by the hatch there by the looks of it. Yeah, SBX Gamer from above. But Nincompoop does a beautiful swing, gets a double kill onto the players in the dirt tunnel. Still not in favour of Counteract though, as Connor is now left in a 1v2. He misses his shots at first, but finally managed to pick up FA Nova. SBX Gamer swing pops off of that diffuse and is now playing around Connor on the AK rack. But Connor finally manages to land the shots and eventually gets that round in favour of Counteract. It swung one way then the other. I didn't know which team was going to win that one at the very end, but in the end, Connor being left in a 1v2, 1v3, wasn't quite sure how many it was, able to clutch out there for his team. Wow, that was quite the round, and certainly a good round to see Counteract put themselves onto a match point. Finally managed to win on that basement site, and now going to the top floor again, going to CCTV and Cash Room, where they managed to win so convincingly on the first round, although that was partially down to the Maverick messing up some of those footholds, which allowed the Cade playing top rafters to actually just use them against him. Means I'll get more channel points to put on the wrong team. Damn right, Lydia, damn right. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying the content so much that you did consider dropping a subscription. Thank you so much for it, by the way. And yeah, I hope you spend those channel points wisely, and your luck changes somewhat, so you actually start betting on the right team. But at the end of the day, it's almost better betting a small amount on the underdog occasionally in a close game, because then if you do win, you're going to win stupid numbers of points. And of course you only lose if you maybe bet 10, but of course if you're the only person that bets 10, so for example in this, if Zodiac B win this, only 280 points have been betted on the side of Zodiac B, which means that for every point put in, whoever's put the points in will get 6.17 channel points back. So sometimes it is better betting on the underdog, because he might win, and of course if you do only lose 10 channel points, then it's not the end of the world. Of course, if you do want to go all in and put like 1,000 on Counteract, like some of you guys have, then by all means do so, as it certainly spices things up. So far though, Counteract once again looking very much in the driving seat of this one, currently being sat on match point. Although it certainly has looked like a very different game from the first one, with Zodiac B having a lot more to answer to Counteract's both defense and offense than they did do previously. An ADS this time being put on the drone hole, trying stop any nades coming through. Of course, the first one being wasted, but now that ADS isn't going to be allowed to reset, if anybody tries to throw another nade through there, it will be reset, so it will then once again be burnt. The Cade device also now being put in the middle of the wall, so Maverick could quite easily get it off. He just actually has to, of course, see that drone. The Flash trying to waste that ADS, not quite making it through the drone hole though. Now gets wasted. The nade gets cooked by the Maverick. Hopefully he doesn't fuck this one up. Unfortunately, he kind of does a little bit. It takes out the ADS, but unfortunately he doesn't get that Cade, because of course it was moved on the side of Counteract. The Cade has now been moved once again, and there is now it is now above the wall. Lots of Cade moving here, and Maverick once again trying this trick to open it up. He manages to get the top line done perfectly, so if he can get the bottom one done as well, then he can get the wall made soft here. He does manage it. There we go. The nice, beautiful example of the Maverick trick. This is what he wanted to do previously, but wasn't able to do. The wall is now soft, meaning that they can get open. Little Dark now gets a nice little pick onto kills, losing a lot of health in that little engagement, but still manages to stay relatively healthy, falling back into the construction side with about 10 health to his name. Many members of Counteract are all playing close on inside, watching each other's angles, and of course sticking together on this one. Of course, being in those strong close positions does mean that they can refrag one another should a member of Zodiac push in and of course kill one of them. As long as the refrag game now works out on the side of Counteract, they will win this one, since they now have the numbers advantage. But of course, well played from Zodiac. They may be able to get a couple of nice easy picks here and then push on into sight. It certainly seems, with match point being in favour of Counteract, they're going for very much the turtle approach here, just playing close to sight and playing together as best they can. No real openings yet for Zodiac B, but they're deciding that construction take is the best here, as nomads are being put up on the flank. Not really required though, because as I said, the side of Counteract has just been played. A C4 being thrown out collects the head of Ruben. Well played there from Little Dark. Of course, nobody's swinging this master door, able to sort of answer to Little Dark being in that very aggressive position on the hole there. And with 10 seconds left on the clock now, it's up to Zodiac B in a 3v5 situation to push on inside and get kills. Curly managed to get the opening one. Two members now stacking up on the construction door. FA Nova, a team kill coming out, but Weasty collects in the final one. Doesn't mean that round number 10 goes in favour of Counteract, and they win out to map number 2. 7 rounds to 3. A much more convincing victory than we saw out of this Counteract team yesterday. But then again, this roster has played together slightly more than the roster that we saw yesterday. I'm just making excuses for myself being shit. But hey, well played to both of these teams here. Of course, Zodiac B bringing the pain much more in this clubhouse map, of course, making it a lot closer affair at points. Certainly well played to both teams. Nobody really slacking on the side of Zodiac. It just seems that when push came to shove, Counteract had the better of Zodiac in a few of these situations, which eventually meant they were able to win out on round difference, on those man difference, and like I say, they walk away winning this best of 2, securing themselves high up in the top spot of this league so far. Not sure exactly what position they move to, might even be first at this point, I'm not 100% sure, but very well played to both of these teams today. Of course, the first map we saw today was the Villa map, where we saw the score go 7-1 in favour of Counteract. The second map we saw going once again in favour of Counteract, but this time the scoreline going 7-3. Meaning, of course, Zodiac managed to get their shit together a little bit more than they did in the first map. Although, if we can cast our minds back to that very first Villa map, Zodiac had so many 1vXs that they lost. They had the numbers advantage. They were left against one man on the side of Counteract, but that one man did what he needed to do, had the time left on the board, played it cool, and managed to get the kills when they mattered. Eventually, of course, resulting in them winning some rounds that we maybe wouldn't have expected them to win. If, of course, those rounds had gone in favour of Zodiac B, the outcome may not have been all that different. It may still have been a best of 2 win to Counteract, but we certainly would have seen a scoreline on Villa being much closer to the one that we saw on the second map of Clubhouse. Anyway, thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in today. I need to do the outcome of the predictions. There we go. Enjoy your channel points, everybody. Enjoy them as much as you can. I want to do a massive shout out before I leave you all for today. Firstly, on to JR Forward, also known as Dark. Thank you very much for the Prime sub, my dude. Greatly appreciate it. And also thank you very much to Lydia, who was my first proper Tier 1 subscriber. Thank you very much for just showing your appreciation of the content that I'm producing. I'm glad that you guys like it, and I'm just really grateful that you're all happy to continue tuning in day after day and watching me just whittle on and waffle about all this Siege nonsense. But for now, I've got some dinner to go and eat and some beer to go drink because it's finally the weekend. Whoop whoop! Big up the weekend. So I hope you all have a wonderful evening, and whatever you decide to do, that it goes well and you have a lovely weekend, and I will possibly see some of you in a stream over the weekend, whether that's one from my point of view or a caster. Regardless though, I've been Elemental. Thank you all for tuning in today. You can go and follow me over on YouTube. Well, drop me a subscription on YouTube if you'd like to rewatch any of these games and listen to more of my beautiful casting that you might not have been able to catch live on my Twitch. If you haven't followed already, dropping a follow would be greatly appreciated. And of course, if you do feel so inclined to spend a little bit of money and drop a subscription, that would be greatly appreciated. But of course, it is not mandatory. But enough waffle from me. I need to sign off and go get some dinner. So thank you all for tuning in, have a good evening, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.